let's start with the session. Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Nidhi. I'm your facilitator for the session today. And before we start with the session, I want all of you to turn on your cameras so I can know that you are a human being and you are not a bot sitting here. Okay, so just 1 second, and whoever turns on the camera last will have to sing or dance. So immediately put your cameras on, no matter where you're sitting. Sudipta, Pooja, Harshpreet. Hello. Hi, Sudipta. Good to see you again. Hello, Harshpreet. Thank you for coming online. So next I see Ria. I think Pooja or whoever is left. Aishwarya will be. Aishwarya is also so. So Pooja will have to sing a song. Where is Pooja? Is Pooja here? I can't see Pooja on the cam. Or maybe Pooja is not listening. We will test that. Okay, so we will keep waiting for Pooja when she joins in. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start with the session. So I will let Vinay first do some context setting for the session. Thank you for joining, everyone. We will go through the session. So Vinay, I give it to you to start. Vinay, are you there?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Vinay, do you want to do some context setting?
Yeah, correct. So, welcome all the participants. A very good afternoon. Myself, Vinay, manager Jamshedpur Management Association. I welcome you to the 3 days online workshop to, on campus to corporate topics like CV writing, assertive communication, and tips for facing interviews already been done. And today the final topic is etiquettes and corporate readiness. So now I would like to introduce our facilitator, Ms. Nidhi Srivastava. She had an amazing journey of working with organizations in a diverse industries like Google, General Motors, RBS, Landmark Group, and Cofit. She started her journey as a software engineer and then moved into human resource, connecting with graduates to leadership level in various projects on training, recruitment, talent management, employee engagement, and community initiative. Hence, he brings a rich insight into organization culture and ways to working. Apart from being a trainer, she is also a coach who helps people to achieve peak performance and also gain clarity and confidence in each life situation to move ahead. She also mentors youth and working professionals. Welcome, Nidhi. So, before starting this session, I would request all the participants to be interactive. It's the final day, so interactive make the session perfect, right? And you can learn several things as you have left two different topics. Certainly, so it's not an issue then. So kindly switch on the video, keep video your on so that it seems to like you are attending the session. Okay, now session is yours, Nidhi.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinay, for doing that. So, yeah, I can see some more people have joined in. So, welcome everyone again once officially. What I want you to do right now is I want you to shut down your mind for everything else. Okay? I want you to just focus here. This is that 1 hour you are giving, 1.5 hours. And I come from experience. I have been a student like you at your side, right? Where I didn't know a single thing. I was like, I don't know what I'll do in a company. I just don't know. I'm a college student. I don't know if my books are going to help me there. So a lot of those queries are always there when you are in a student mode and you think whether you will be able to successfully match to the corporate, right? Show me your hands. Show me your hands if you agree with me. Anyone? Okay, good. So only Harshpreet says that he's agreeing with me. Others, what about others? Okay, I can see Aishwarya also. I can see Sudipta also. Yeah, so I have been in your position. And that is why I'm telling you today, if you have any question, no matter what the question is, even if you think it's a silly question, don't care. Don't care. And it's a small group, right? So ask whichever question you want. There is no judgment here. Nobody is more experienced, nobody is less experienced. Think of me as a friend who is here to give all my experience to you, which will help you to assemble, which will help you to adjust well in the corporate environment. Okay? Does that make sense? Show me your thumbs if this makes sense. Show me your thumb. Okay, cool. Thank you. So We will do some activities, but at the same time, what I want you is to also ask questions. This is a mixed group, I'm presuming. It might have people who are doing MBA, HR, finance, marketing, maybe somebody from engineering background also. That's completely fine. Whatever I'm going to share today will be applicable for everyone. Okay. So we will see some, and we will do some activities also, interesting activities. So be with me in this space. I'll give you a 30 seconds. Please bring a copy and pen so that you can make notes, right? While you're writing notes, it always have a greater impact on your mind because your mind is able to sink and absorb everything, right? So please bring a copy and pen. 30 seconds I'm giving you and keep it handy. Before that, I want you to start with an activity. Okay, so let me just share my screen again. Is my screen visible to everyone? Is this visible? Is this activity visible? Why?
Yes, yes,
So
ma'am.
I want you to not even take 5 minutes. I want to quickly put in the chat box what is your name, specialization, and one reason why you think corporate is cool. Corporate means working in the companies is cool. Okay, so just quickly put it across. Your name, specialization, and one reason why you think corporate is cool. Okay, put it in the chat window so I can read it and everybody else can also read it. I will be keep switching between the slides and the cam so that I can also see you guys. So let me see. Some people have already started messaging. Oh no, nobody has messaged till now. Quickly put into the chat window name, specialization, and why do you think working in corporate is cool? Whatever you think. Okay, I'm still waiting. Are we typing? I thought students these days are like so good in messaging and being on WhatsApp. You should be able to message in like a minute or so. Okay, let me ask people to unmute themselves. Aishwarya, are you typing the message or do you want to share it unmuting yourself? What's your name, specialization, and why do you think corporate is cool?
Ma'am, I'm typing.
Okay, so take more time to type. What about others? Okay, name I can actually already see, so you can even type your specialization and just share this. HR, cool environment, workplace is cool and great exposure to get involved with others. Okay, so Ria likes to get exposed and working with others. Great, Ria. And one thing which is very important for any corporate is that collaboration, working with your team members, working with other peers. So that's great, Ria. Thank you for sharing your response. Harshpreet says specialization in finance, it will help me in developing my skills and enhancing which is too suitable. Okay, yes, of course, skill development. So I'm very happy to know, Harshpreet, that you're very passionate for learning like me. Again, important thing. Tripti wants an experience. Tripti is cool. Tripti says that, I don't care about anything, learning or anything. I just want experience. Is it Tripti? Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
Tripti is from HR. So two I can see from HR, one from finance. What about others? Quickly, just type in your responses. I see somebody has raised their hand. Who is this? I can just see PG there. Um, Pooja Gureg. Pooja, do you want to say something? You can unmute yourself. Pooja, I see your hand raised. If you have something to say, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Meanwhile, let me just go on the chat window again. Yes, Pooja.
Ma'am, actually, today is my first session, so I'm just not getting where to do what. So I was just not finding the chat box. So right now I saw it in the top of my screen, so I'm typing it right now.
Okay. So it's first day. So just remember everyone, though you have not attended session one and session two, but all three sessions were on different themes, so they don't have connection. So don't think that I have missed something because I could not attend session one, session two because they were on different topics, right? So anybody who's joining today, you should be able to understand. And yes, chat window as chat window is in the either you see in the bottom or the front where you will see a hand raised. Just next to the hand raised, there is a chat icon, right, like this, like a bubble. So you can click there and you can put your message. Okay, so let me just quickly go through what people have written. Supriya says, because it's a great platform to express yourself and your talent, and you get better experience to work better in future. Okay, yeah, that's why corporate is cool. And Supriya is from marketing, so marketing definitely has a lot of creativity. Sudeepta says corporate is cool because you can work in an AC room with a luxurious chair and table. People go there. Yeah, actually, the kind of temperature that is increasing these days, AC room is very important. I think so. So yes, also people, it will help in growth. So I think a lot of people are talking to things related to growth. Ashura also mentions growth, and Pooja mentions my specialization is in HR. Okay, great to know everyone, and great that you already know some of these skills. So we are going to just quickly play a game. Okay, there are some pictures in this, and you have to guess what are these pictures. Okay, are we ready for this game? And unmute yourself. I just want you to speak on
Yes,
the
ma'am.
microphone only. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's start with the first picture. What does it mean? Any guesses? There is this color.
Creativity,
Sorry.
it's it's a
Color
girl or young.
splash.
What does it represent? What kind of skill it is relating to? Which will be required in the corporate
Ma'am,
environment.
creativity,
Creativity, absolutely right. Creativity. So creativity, you can even call it ideation, right? Thinking of ideas or so either could be there. Absolutely. The second picture. What is the second picture?
brainstorming,
Brainstorming. Okay. What else?
Using of brain.
Sorry.
Tired.
Lot of information. Lot of information. The both the second and third pictures are representing both a lot of information. And third picture is about, any guesses? What is third picture for?
learning,
Absolutely.
Information.
Learning, which is very important, right? Fourth picture, which is in the black color.
management is necessary, so maybe management,
Okay, close to that. Any other guesses? Has anyone heard of SMART? HR people might know this.
Smart work.
What else? SMART goal setting. Okay, so this is for goal setting, which is very important. And while I'm saying this, somebody can
Ma'am,
put it on the
hard
chat
work.
window. Sorry?
Ma'am, hard work with smart work makes the goal easier to achieve.
Yeah, very good. Hard work with smart work, right? And here we are talking about smart goal setting, that how do you set goals in life which are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely so that you succeed. Okay. So what I want is if one of you can put all these skills which we have discussed in or discussing on the chat window, right? So it is for everybody's reference, right? So first we started with ideation, second is brainstorming, third is learning, fourth is goal setting, right? And what about the fifth one?
teamwork among the departments,
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Okay. Yes.
Teamwork, ma'am.
Teamwork. Yes. And the sixth one,
building a
Interaction with
healthy
others.
relationship, interacting with the
what?
customers.
Interaction. So people relationship, we can say that, right? People skills or interaction skills, right? And these skills, why I'm sharing and why we are doing this activity is you need to keep learning more about the skills, right? When you're preparing for your interviews also, and I covered a little bit on in the second session, that these skills are on which you will be assessed in your interviews in your organization as well. How much are you ideating? How do you do your goal setting? uh, what is your focus on learning? How are your people connection skills, people interaction skills, right? How do you play in a team? It's very important, and it's very important that we start building these behaviors from now only as much as possible. So we don't have to wait like, oh, only when we'll go into a company then we'll be showing these skills. If you start practicing these skills now, they will become part of your behavior. When they become part of your behavior, then they are no more difficult to follow, right? So it's better that you start practicing these skills now only, and that's why I'm making you list these skills. And when you go into interview, they're going to ask you questions on this, like how did you demonstrate team building in your school, in your college projects? Or somebody might ask that, what are your sources of learning? How do you increase your knowledge? How do you enhance your knowledge? So then what they're expecting you to answer is, they're expecting you to answer that, I enhance my knowledge through books, through some YouTube videos, through this and that. And they will ask specific. So you can't like lie there. They will ask you, okay, tell me about the latest book that you have read, right? So there are questions like this in interview, right? In questions, they can ask you. So suppose if we look into the next picture, okay, which is having a watch. What does it mean? Any idea? What is that skill here? On the last row, can everyone see the middle picture, which is having a watch, a clock?
Maybe target oriented.
Okay, what else? What skill would it be?
It's a type of schedule.
Coming close to it, both of you are close to it. What is the exact skill that is called? We all struggle into that. Time
Ma'am,
management.
type.
Sorry?
Time management.
Time management, right? So time management is a very important skill, especially when office you're getting like your boss is giving you some work, your colleague is asking you to help, or your senior stakeholder or your client has assigned you some work. So time management becomes very important, right? And how can we practice it from now only, that we need to time manage? We will see an activity on that also, okay? Because it's a very important skill. I think I am still learning, even after 9 years of my experience, I'm still learning to practice time management, right? So time management, and the next one is brainstorming, or you can say that, identifying your stakeholders, the last one. Then similarly, there are other skills, right? So there are a lot of skills, and these pictures you can keep on guessing, right? Like the third one in the first row is influencing, right? Where you're trying to pull people by magnet, right? A lot of these skills are important because this will shape who you are in an organization. Okay. And why we are doing this programming right now, only when you're still in college, so that you can start building your skills now, so that when you go to a company, whichever company you work for, you are able to excel there. You are able to differentiate yourself there. You don't feel struggling, or you are not like in that typical college student mode, right? Because there's a lot of mindset shift that happens, and that's why these skills are very important to learn. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions on this? Okay, so let's look into some corporate methods. Now, these are the things that you need to remember. First of all, when you go into an organization, the behavior has to change from casual to commitment. In college, even if you're submitting your project one day late, you can still be okay. Even if you start working in night, that's still okay. But in organization, when you're working, you have to commit to a timeline and stick by it. Otherwise, there can be consequences. Okay, nobody will tolerate that if you are missing on your timelines. So everything is set on a timeline, and hence your commitment is very important. Okay, the second thing, listening increases and happens on 4 levels. Okay, now this is very interesting. We think that listening is only hearing. Okay, you said something, I heard something, that is listening. No, listening happens on 4 levels: behavior, facts, feelings, and belief. Okay, so if somebody is saying something to you, right, focus on what is the fact that they're sharing. Like, fact is something maybe numerical, something which is actually true. What are the feelings that they're expressing in that statement, right? What is the belief, and what is the behavior? So suppose if I say that, I feel very hurt that the world is in such a place because 50% of the countries are affected very much by global warming, right? Now, what is the feeling here? I feel very much hurt, right? What is the fact here? 50% of the companies. What is the belief I'm saying? Belief is that I'm hurt because these countries are impacted by global warming. This is the belief, right? And what is the behavior? Behavior is that people are still not taking any action around it. So whenever we try to listen to someone, try to listen on these 4 levels. What is the behavior that they're showing? What is the feeling they're expressing? What is the belief they're carrying? And what is the fact that they're sharing? If you are able to listen on these 4 levels, your interactions with people, no matter who it is, it's your colleague, it's your peer, it's your relationship, all the relationships will improve. Okay, so listening has to open for 4 level. In corporate, it is very important that I changes to we. I did this work. I did this work. No. You always say we. We is as a team. As a team, we delivered it. As a team, we are accountable to be, completing this work. As a team, we have failed to do this, right? So when you create a we, when you use a word we, and this is something which you can start practicing from college, even if you are working in the team projects. Why it is important is because when you see we instead of I, can somebody tell me what is the feeling that you feel when you use a we instead of an I? Anyone? What is the difference you feel when you say I
Unity,
did this?
strength,
Strength, absolutely, right? You feel stronger. Very good. What
and
else?
unity. Yeah,
Unity, yeah,
unity.
unity, right? What else? What else do you feel when you use the word we and not I?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. And how does it make you feel? Talk in terms of the emotions.
Ma'am, I stand for a boss and we stand for a leader.
Right, that's also very good interpretation, right? That a leader basically takes everyone with them, right? They just don't become bossy. And what you mentioned about teamwork also, teamwork is what? Teamwork gives you strength, like it was already said, right? Also, when if you're struggling somewhere, you know there is a team with you. I'm not alone in this, even though your role may be different and somebody else's role may be different, but there is a team to support you if there are challenges, right? So we gives you that power. We gives you that power that yes, no matter there is a failure or we are succeeding, we are there for each other, right? And also we gives you more pride, isn't it? When you see an Indian cricket team which is winning the match, right, they're like so happy and you also feel happy even when you're not playing in that match, because then it's we, our country together is playing against another country, so all of us come together, right? So, and it's a very simple change, but I'm telling you, you start saying we instead of I, and you will feel that you will have better relationships, better output, and more happiness inside whenever you're doing work. Okay, simple thing, and like beautifully said, it's a leader's quality to say we, it's a boss quality to just say I. Okay. Fourth thing, very important, days of name calling are over. So in college, you could call and give each other nicknames. Nothing like that in office. Okay. Because if you do in office, there is a high, I would say there's a very, high respect for each other, and there's low tolerance for calling out these names. Even if you're kidding to for your friends, right? So there is has to be professional environment. Outside office, you can call them whatever you want, but inside office, you have to respect them. And also because it shows diversity and learning from inclusion. Can anyone tell me what does diversity mean and what does inclusion mean? Anyone?
Diversity band.
Yeah, please go on. Diversity is what?
Ma'am, to expand ourselves like in different varies.
Okay. 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 Let me understand from more. What else? Who else can define diversity for me? What is diversity? Come on. I don't want a technical definition. Just tell me whatever is your understanding. Okay. Nobody. You can Google it if you want. I never
Ma'am,
said.
in general, it is a
Okay. First, the lady who was saying in general, and then we listen to the other lady who was saying. Yeah. Who was saying? Who was making a point right now?
Ma'am, I think respect to all those person, no matter what they are, from where they came from, in that.
Very important, absolutely. No matter what religion they are, no matter what uh, race they are, what age group they are, what background are they coming from, right? Whatever gender specific orientation they have, right? That's diversity. Diversity is that basically, that you respect the diversity no matter where they're coming from. And inclusion means that you're not discriminating them. Okay. Inclusion means you're not discriminating them. You're not differentiating that, okay, this is a man, so he will get a higher salary, and this is a woman, so she will get a lower salary. This is somebody from North India, so he's better at this, and this is better. This is from South India, so he's better at this. No, no differentiation, no biases. That's what inclusion is, right? So diversity is when you're respecting all of these people for who they are, wherever they were coming from, and inclusion means involving everyone and giving them equal treatment. Is this clear to everyone now?
Yes,
Shout out a
ma'am.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is very important in corporate, and I'm telling you the ways not to be just successful. These are the ways in which you can create strong bonds, right? So even if when you move out of the organization and you take some support, or the person goes out and he wants to refer you in his organization, these are the behaviors which are valued. And when you show these behaviors, trust me, one thing I can share from my experiences, I've never been very much concerned about, oh, when will I become a VP, when will I grow in my next role. No, I have just been concerned about one thing, that I show the right behaviors and right values. And those right values have always helped me to get great opportunities at work. They've always helped me to, be seen as a person who is credible, to be seen as a person who is a teamwork, right? Who is seen as a person whom they believe that can lead big events, big projects, right? And that trust comes with all these behaviors. So you might see with some people in the corporate who are not living these behaviors, who are more selfish, who are not listening, who don't care about diversity, who have a lot of beliefs, biases. They may grow in short term, but in long term, they will not have association, right? So always remember that, and this is the reason we are saying that you start practicing these behaviors from now, right? Next, which is very important, is taking feedback is your mantra to grow. Learn from the best. Always take feedback. Reflect on yourself also, that how do I do what. So there are two questions which you can remember to take feedback for yourself. What did I do well, and what can I improve to do better? What did I do well? Can somebody put these questions on the chat window? What did I do well, and what can I do? What can I improve to do better? If you can put these two questions in your mind and always ask these questions to yourself and people around you, it will help you genuinely grow. And when you're taking this feedback, don't take feedback like somebody said, oh, you know what, you're a bad person, you can't do this. Ask them for specific feedback, ask them for specific action. Okay, how can I improve? What can I do this? Do you have an idea to suggest me? Right? So always take it following up with some kind of a medicine, some kind of mantra, right? Not just be okay with that. Okay, somebody said that you can't grow. So somebody said, Sudipta, you're good for nothing. Even if somebody gives you a feedback for like that, okay, ask them, okay, what makes you believe that I'm good for nothing? What behavior or what thing I was not able to perform? And the idea is not to cross question because you want to insult them or you want to fight with them. The idea is to understand that how can I be better? Can you please tell me what can I do to be better? Okay, so that's why feedback is very important. Sorry, Sudipta, I was just taking your name as an example because you have been my favorite student from previous class. Okay, so okay, so this is feedback. Now, next question: you take charge of your growth. Here in college, teachers are pushing you to give assignments. Teachers are pushing you to learn. Teachers are pushing you to come to sessions like this to grow and to gain something. There in corporate, people will not push you. You have to take charge of your growth. You have to learn. You have to find your mentor. You have to keep studying new things, new updates, so that you're always in trend and you're always able to contribute well in the meetings. Okay. Next is compete with yourself, but set benchmarks on how others perform. Don't compare yourself with others. And it's a big problem. And I know this is for college students also, for anyone. We compare ourselves with others and we feel bad about it. Always compete with yourself, that am I a better person, a better performer than I was yesterday, or than I was last month, or than I was last year, right? But set benchmark in terms of others. Okay, this person has been, like in sports there is a benchmark, right? That this athlete could run so many meters in just 50 seconds, right? So set benchmark like that, which motivates you to perform better, but don't compare yourself. Okay, and always stress with a smile. Stress will be part of your life. Stress will be part of your corporate role as well. Stress is not going to go away. Some form of stress will always be there. But stress with a smile will help you to manage that stress better. Okay, and last thing, which is not very simple, carry confidence on your sleeves. Okay, so how many people here deal with confidence issue? Can you raise your hands? Let me see. How many people deal with confidence issues? Confidence in regarding public speaking, in presentations, in interacting with people, confidence in showing who I'm really are. All of us, right? All of us have struggled. So what we're going to do is we are going to do an activity right now, which you can use anytime to boost your confidence. Okay, this activity is like basically a technique from neuralistic programming. What neuralistic programming is basically, Harshpreet says, what can I do better? Okay, thank you, Harshpreet, for putting these questions. I really appreciate that. Right, so this activity is basically neuralistic programming. What is neuralistic programming? Just to tell you in a very simple term, it's a way to reprogram your mind to think more confidently, positively in many areas. So we're just going to do one simple activity for that. Okay, everyone ready for that? But this is not something which you can do just sitting. So all of you have to stand. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to stand a little bit away. Okay, let me also stand with you. And I'm not in complete formals like you can see. So I'm just like in a informal wear. Okay, so all of you just stand. Get up from your desk and stand. And just ensure that you can still hear me. You can remove your earphones if you're using earphones. I should be audible. So everybody, can you please come on video so I can see all of you standing quickly? This is a
Ma'am,
confidence.
I am not at home, so I cannot do this activity.
Okay. Try doing this activity in your mind if possible, right? What I want you to do is I want you to really stand, okay? And close your eyes. All of you, close your eyes. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine yourself in a circle. This circle is representing your state when you are in an interview or going for a presentation or going to talk to someone and you're feeling scared. You're scared. You're scared, maybe you don't know English. You don't know if you will do well. You see other people around who are seemingly more smarter than you. Sense your heart. What are you feeling inside? Just review your thoughts for a minute. What is your brain saying to you that's right now? Oh, you're not good. You can't do this. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to imagine, open your eyes and imagine a circle in front of you. Another circle. Circle number 2. This circle number 2 is your circle of confidence. I want you to take a step forward and move into that. All of you, move into your circle of confidence. Okay, I'll just keep it here. Okay, now again, close your eyes. All of you. And what I want you to do is, I want you to think of an event from your life where you were very confident. Maybe it was a sports event. Maybe it was when you won a debate competition. Maybe when you were with your family and you were feeling very confident. Remember that moment. Imagine what you're seeing right now. Listen to the voices. How is your heart feeling right now? What is your brain saying at this moment? You are in that event where you're very confident. What is your brain saying to you? How is your body feeling? This is your confidence circle. I want you to open your eyes again. Now, I want you to step back to that circle, the earlier circle, the less confident circle. Now, I want you to close your eyes again and apply that confidence here. That thought you were just having in your confidence circle, I want you to say that to yourself right now. I want you to get that strength from that situation that you had just now. Now focus on how you're feeling now. Yes, I'm having the strength. I can do it. I am the same guy. I'm the same girl. I know how to deliver it. Now imagine yourself in that situation, wherever you're going to talk to someone, to present something, to speak on the stage. Imagine yourself delivering that thing. What are you viewing? People clapping for you? Or you having a nice conversation with the person you intended to talk to? What are you feeling right now about this? I want you to come out of that now and open your eyes. Take your seats again. All of you, get settled. If you want a glass of water, you can have a glass of water. Now, I want you to unmute yourself and share your thoughts. What has been your experience in the activity? I see one hand raised. Who is this? AK. Aishwarya Kumari. Aishwarya, do you want to share something with us?
Ma'am, I was feeling more confident than earlier, and I was very calm at that time.
Okay. And which situation did you imagine for your confidence?
Ma'am, it was my first stage. It was the very first program in my college.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I was very nervous. So I imagined that.
Right. Okay. And did you put yourself in that situation again?
Yes, ma'am.
And this time, were you confident?
Very confident, ma'am, and very calm.
Great. Great. Anyone else who would like to share their experience? Thank you, Harshpreet. And then I'll share my experience as well after this. So who else want to go next? Pooja, Sudipta. Who else? I think only, okay, today is a very female based organization. Okay, I can see Arbaz also, but Arbaz seems to be on hold. Anyone else wants to share their experience? Supriya also seems to be on hold. Aishwarya, you wanted to say something earlier. Aishwarya, are you there? Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so Aishwarya, how was your experience? Did you do this activity?
No, ma'am. I said that I'm not at home. I'm
Okay,
outside.
okay,
That's it.
no worries. So Aishwarya, try this after the session. So the idea is that, like I mentioned, I did this for myself. Okay, I did this exercise for myself in certain situations because I believe like I'm like an introvert. Okay, so for me sometimes going into group events where like there are a lot of people, it's very what do you say, it's very scary for me sometimes. Not exactly scary, but I feel very uncomfortable there, right? And I have applied this technique on myself, and this is a very powerful technique. So whenever you go into a situation now where you're scared, whether it's for interview or anything, think of this same activity. you don't have to run the entire activity again, but you just have to think about that moment from your past and think of it like, what am I feeling right now? Because the voice that was going in your head when you used to be confident, you just need to listen to that voice again. And nobody can motivate you then. I can't motivate you. Nobody else can motivate you. It's your same voice that can motivate you because you have lived that experience. Okay. So that was the intent of this activity. And why I'm doing it in this session is because in corporate, when you go, you might be scared to present to some senior stakeholders. Oh, they're very senior, they're experienced. I'm just a junior. Don't think about that. Okay. So with that, let's go to the next slide, which we have. We have already covered here attitude shift. Okay, so this is I just wanted to reflect on one thing. Okay, I wanted to think of one activity, one experience, one situation where it was difficult to accept feedback from someone. Okay, somebody gave you a feedback, maybe your friends, peers, or teachers, and it was difficult to accept that. Okay, so you don't have to put it in the chat window. That's completely personal, but I want you to write it for yourself. What was that situation in your life where it was difficult to take a feedback? So just take a minute, first of all, to write such situation in the notebook. Again, you don't have to share it if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. But I want you to do this exercise, okay? And show me a thumbs up or show me a thumbs up when have you written that activity, written that situation in your copy. Arbaz, I see your hand is raised. We'll come to you. Let everybody write that. Okay, show me thumbs up, everyone, when you have written that situation in the copy. One situation where it was difficult for you to take feedback. I can still see some people thinking, which is good. See, it's so hard to remember that, right? Because we don't think about it. And I'm sure all of us would have got some feedback at some point of time. But we are talking about when was it difficult to accept feedback? And as human beings, we think like, I accept feedback all the time. Come on, what are you saying? But there are instances where we have not accepted feedback. So why are we not open to take feedback? Can anyone share me? Why is it difficult sometimes to take feedback?
Because ma'am, we always do some work with some expectation and always do at our best level. When someone give a negative feedback, then it's very difficult to us for assume that and consume that feedback.
So we get disappointed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What else? What are other reasons why we don't accept feedback?
Ma'am, when we think we have given 100 or 1000%, but still people are criticizing it, so we can't digest that. The
It
How
it
couldn't I
hurts
think
our
that?
ego. It hurts our ego also, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Right.
ma'am. Also, ma'am, when we do some work, we have some mind setup that I do this for this kind of feedback. When it comes negatively, then it affect our mindset also.
Right. So see the feedback. It's a very delicate line, right? When so Harshpreet used a word criticism, right? Criticism is always bad. We are not ready for it. We want to believe that we are superhuman beings and we have given our best, right? But there is a clear difference between feedback and criticism. Okay, so most of the people sometimes they give feedback also in that way, which is criticism. Like I was sharing earlier, right? That you did a bad job. Now that doesn't help me. And that demotivates me because I've not even got a reason that why my work is bad. Right? First of all, the tone of the feedback is very important. If the person is using words like this, you get hurt, which is very natural, right? And you have put your expectations. The two things that you can change about your mindset is one, that you stop validating your work from others. You validate your work, but it's not a personal comment on you. Always remember that. It's a comment on your work. It's a comment on your work, or it's a comment on your behavior. Your behavior and your work does not represent who you are. It's only like a cloak. It's only like a dress which you wear that day. So suppose you're wearing a dress and somebody like, yeah, your shirt is looking bad. What will you do? You'll probably change that shirt. Or probably you will wear a different jeans so your shirt looks better in that, right? So always remember, any behavior, any work that is showing up right now to others, first of all, it's their perception. Secondly, yes, they might be making sense, but they are not commenting on you. When we take it on ourselves that my shirt is bad means I am bad, then it starts hurting us. So to have a open mind for feedback, remember whatever is the feedback that is coming, first of all, you need to ask it very specifically that how I can improve, where I can improve, can you give me some ideas, right? So it will help you in growth. Remember the growth mindset that I want to grow. Even if I'm getting a negative feedback right now, it's okay. In the future, I'm going to grow. Right? I mean, you won't believe that when I was in school, I, remember our teachers used to make us read those paragraphs. Ki, chalo, you now read this paragraph. You read this paragraph, right? And I used to read paragraph, and one teacher commented very bad on so in front of everyone. She commented. She commented like, "Arey, tu gaon se aayi hogi," something like that. She said, okay, and which hurt me that time very much. That, oh, that means I can't read, and I took it personally as well. That means I'm a bad person. I'm not good enough. But then over the time period, I started working on that. I started reading books. I started reading a lot, and now people want to listen to me. So imagine if I would have stick to that feedback which was given by the teacher, I would have just feeling bad. I would have never been able to improve myself. So what you need to do is you just need to think about the future reward. That, okay, if I work on this feedback, even if I've been insulted in front of 5 people, doesn't matter. Because I'm going to shine bright like a star in front of 100 of people if I'm able to improve on that. That's number one. Number two, so first is never take it personal. Always. Second, think about growth always. Third is ask for specific inputs from the people. And fourth is remember, every feedback is temporary. As long you're ready to work on it. Right? It's like a temporary phase. Whatever marks you got in mathematics in 5th class were not in 6th class. Right? Whatever you achieved in 5th, 6th class, that was also for that time. Whatever good you achieved, that also kept growing. So feedback is temporary, and that's the beauty of feedback. So you don't have to take it for a lifetime with you, only if you're ready to work on it. Okay? So I did this activity because for both your personal growth and your professional growth, if you are able to remember this one thing, how to take feedback. It's not just about giving feedback. Everybody will talk about giving feedback. If you're able to take feedback, it's going to help you grow. Okay, now I want you to consciously practice this in your college also, taking feedback from people. If they're giving you feedback, accept it with a smile, ask them questions to get more clarity on that, and you will be the person who will be taking charge of your growth. Okay, Arbaz, I see your hand is raised. Arbaz, do you have a question or anything that you want to share? Arbaz? Arbaz, are you able to listen to us? Okay, Arbaz is maybe just doing exercise, raising his hands right now. Arbaz, you can come back if you have a question. Let me just go to the next slide quickly. So we discussed about time management, remember? Now, how do we manage time? Time is fixed for everyone, isn't it? 24 hours. All of us have 24 hours. How do we make the best of those 24 hours? And one of the problem which we discussed in some earlier sessions also, that I don't know how to say no. I don't know how to say no. I'm just a very sweet person. I want to please everyone. I can't hurt anyone, right? So this is a tool which I want you to do for yourself. This is a time management tool, okay? It's called an urgent important matrix, okay? As you can see, urgent important. So why it's called urgent important? We classify all the tasks that we have in our hand on two things: urgent, urgency, and importance of the task, right? So simple, there are four quadrants, okay? Do, decide, delegate, delete. These are the four quadrants, okay? Means four boxes that you can see. So first kind of tasks are which are very urgent and important, okay? Urgent means something that you have to do right now. You can't delay it later, right? And important is something which you can do later also, but it is important that it gets done, okay? It's a very important task. Similarly, you have the second quadrant, which is decide quadrant, not urgent and important. Something which is not urgent, but it is important for you to do, right? And then you have other two quadrants. So let's look into the examples. What I want you to do is, I want you to create in your notebooks these four quadrants and put these labels of urgent, important, not urgent, not important. Okay, put these labels on your copy and create just four empty boxes like this. Everyone clear on the activity? Show me a thumbs up. Everyone clear on the activity? Just create four boxes, put labels in the same order: urgent, not urgent, important, not important, like this. Just one sec. Sorry. So yes. So now what we have to do is we need to put all the tasks that we do today. Okay. Maybe it could be a project. It could be your learning that you have to revise your concepts or your sessions, right? Maybe you have to do some assignment. Okay. Maybe you have to meet your friend or go to a friend's birthday party today, right? So any things that you have, I wanted to categorize into four boxes, right? Let me give you some example. Can somebody give me an example of something which is urgent and important? Something which is urgent and important. And you can put it in the chat window also if you want, like, the chat window is here next to the hand icon on the bottom. So if you want, you can put it in the chat window or tell me on the microphone. What is an example of an urgent and important activity? Think of some work, maybe some assignment that you have to submit tomorrow only. Do you have any assignment like that? Which you have to submit tomorrow only, and it is important because it's an assignment. That's something which will come in the category of urgent and important. Right? Some urgent, right? So second category is something which is on the next box which you see, and I'm giving examples and you have to think later. Something which is not urgent and important. Okay, so maybe a project which is important, or maybe to revise the concepts of my previous lessons, which is important. Oh, Sudipta says I have to submit my assignment on Monday. Yes, Sudipta, it is urgent, I think, right? But what happens if Sudipta is not doing that work right now, on today, on Saturday? What happens if Sudipta does not work? So right now, Sudipta's item is in not urgent and important, maybe, because she still have 2 days, right? But what happens if she does not do it today? Can anyone tell me what will happen? No idea?
Please repeat.
So Sudipta have to submit an assignment on Monday. She can maybe postpone the work for tomorrow, right? Because it's not urgent. She has to submit on Monday, not tomorrow. But what will happen if she does not do this assignment today?
She will get extra pressure and workload.
Right? Okay. So what will happen is this activity that Sudipta has is right now in this quadrant, not urgent and important, right? Right now it is not urgent and important because she still have 1 day for it, right? 2 days maybe, if she counts today. But if she does not do it on time, it becomes urgent and important, right? Because now, like you said, tomorrow the pressure will be higher on her. Oh, tomorrow I have to submit. I've not done anything. I've not even researched on it. And a lot of our tasks, we do like this only. Tasks which are not urgent anytime, but because we don't do it for a long time, they become urgent and important. And that is how this tool is very helpful for you to realize what are my tasks which are not urgent and important today. Not urgent and important means they are not urgent important category, but if I don't do it, it will come into the urgent and important category. Because that's going to create you pressure. Right? The third category which we have is something which is urgent but not important. What is urgent but not important? Can anyone think of that? Maybe that you have to go to a relative's birthday. It's not important, not that important maybe. You don't even like that relative. But it's urgent. You have to go today because your mom is saying, nahi beta jana padega. Right? So that's an example of urgent and not important, right? Someone would say is like eating food is urgent and not important. I would say it's important. So again, the criteria of urgency and importance differs from person to person, right? Like somebody might say that, okay, you know what? Going to washroom is a activity which is just not important. It's urgent, but it's not important. But it is also important because it's good for your body system, right? So when we are planning of the activities, try to think of in the morning or maybe in the night before, what are the activities I have to do tomorrow? And how can I categorize into these 4 buckets? Once you're able to categorize into these 4 buckets, you will understand that at least the first bucket is very important, which you have to done. Urgent and important. And out of the 2 buckets, which is urgent and not important and important but not urgent, you can select few of the activities, right, for that day. And the 4th bucket is not urgent, not important. Can anyone give me example of that? What is not urgent and not important? And this is what we do the most. Anyone?
An example could be watching a show, a movie,
Netflix, right?
Netflix.
Netflix, Facebook binging, right? Chit chatting. All this is example of not urgent, not important. But honestly, we all place it the most important and the most urgent. नहीं अभी मैसेज चेक करना है, गर्लफ्रेंड ने मैसेज किया है, फ्रेंड ने मैसेज किया है, इसने मुझे मेल किया है, ये नई मूवी आई है, ये तो मैं आज देखूंगा ही देखूंगा, नहीं तो कोई मुझे सस्पेंस बता देगा. And this is why we are having problems, because we are not able to focus on the right thing. And why it is happening is because we are not conscious of our choices. One thing which you can learn right now, which I learned very late and a lot of us adults reached very late, is that we are not intentional in our choices. If you become intentional in your choices, you will have more control on your life. And more control, more perceived control means less stress. I tell you, no matter what emotion you're having in life, it comes from the root thing, which is control. I get angry with my friend because he didn't listen to me. You were trying to control. I get angry with the traffic situation. Why? Because you were trying to control that I want to move fast and I'm not able to move fast. Right? You are angry with your parents because they were not buying you something. Again, you were trying to control by getting something which you like. At the root of all the emotions, you have control as the basic problem. Now, what happens is some things are in your control and some things are genuinely not in your control. But what you can do is you can create more perceived control for yourself. कि वो control है नहीं, पर मैं अपने आप को और control feel करा रहा हूँ. For example, if I'm working in office, right? If I was waking up at 9 o'clock, what will happen? जैसे ही मैं 9 बजे उठी, people start mailing me. And my colleagues have started calling me. Now what is happening is I'm losing control. Because I'm feeling so much stress. Oh my God, isko bhi respond karna hai, isko bhi respond karna hai, I have to do this, I have to do this. Now, sense of control is losing. I become more irritated. I'm becoming more dissatisfied and I'll start doing mistakes. Right? Now, what will happen is Another situation number 2, I start waking up at 7 o'clock. I'm not saying 5 o'clock. Okay, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock I start waking. What happens? I have a nice sip of coffee. I check my mails, respond to all the mails. In fact, now I'm chasing other people by writing them what happened with this, what happened with this. Okay. I'm also able to pick up calls. Whoever is calling, I'm like, chill. Yeah, I've done this. Right? More sense of control. When you have more sense of control, what is happening? I'm happier. I'm less stressed because I believe life is in my control. Life, and that's human behavior. We all want to be life in our control as much as possible. Now, life can't be controlled in everything. Corona was not in our control. Was it? No. But at least what we could control out of that is, okay, let me spend time with my friends to be happy. My family members. Let me just start doing some virtual sessions to be happy. Whatever makes me happy, right? So that was the limit of control. So why I'm talking so much about this control and emotions is that in organization, you need to find out how do you manage your time better so that it gives you more sense of control and less stress. Again, this is something which you can practice from today itself. Make a list of all the activities that you do in a day generally. This much hours I attend classes, this much hour I go to gym, this much hour I walk with my friends or I talk with my friends, this much hour I have to connect with my family members if you're not living with your family, and divide them into these 4 quadrants. Okay? Any questions on this? Arbaz, I still see your hand raised, so if you have a question, please unmute yourself and ask. The unmute option is on the below. You can see, there's a mic kind of an option. You can use that, or you can put your thought on the chat. Any questions still here? Any questions, anyone? No questions? Is it all clear or all clear? All is clear or all clear?
All is clear, man.
All is clear? Okay, good. So let's go to the next. So take a picture of this and you have already created that, but try doing this activity every day now. Okay, once this will get in your practice, in your habit, you will be able to manage your time better. Okay. So quick things in terms of connecting with people, whether for corporate or anywhere else, think and prepare before you speak. Be empathetic, means try to understand other people. Be less judgmental. That's one thing you can learn. Having judgments actually take you back. Having judgments actually not let you progress. So if you make judgments about others, oh, you know what, she is not a good girl, she's doing like this, she talks like this, oh, this guy wears a shirt like this, all the judgments that you're having in mind, she comes from this place, that's why she must be very bad or something like that. These judgments take you back and then you are wasting your time on that. If you want to judge yourself. That too, do not judge harshly, judge with compassion, right? Trust yourself that, yeah, I'm trying to do the best I can. Don't judge people. And this will help in corporate also, because in corporate also, people will come with a lot of different organizations, a lot of different regions. Some of you may also work for global organizations. You might be connecting with foreigners who have a very different culture. Their jokes are also very different. And if you don't stop judging right now, you will never be able to develop that practice in which you can literally listen to people. When we judge people, we have actually put a filter in front of us. It's like, imagine this. You're saying something to me, I've put this filter. I'm seeing you only through this lens. Now, this lens is dirty lens, as you can see, right? This is blurred. What it means is, I'm not able to see the real you because I have already put a filter in between us. And your judgment, any kind of judgment that you do for people, no matter how much you think that, no, I'm thinking right about this person, it basically decreases your power to see the person as he is or as she is. Okay, so how do you do that? Especially in Indian society, we are conditioned to judge people. We are conditioned, that's a by default DNA that we have to judge people. So I want you to be mindful of things. Write down 1 or 2 things on your copy right now. What are the things or what are the kind of people you judge very often? Just 2 or 3 things. You don't have to even share with me, but just write it on your copy. 2 or 3 things or people or situations which you judge a lot. And you need to stop judging them. It may be you are judging your teachers for no reason or judging your classmates. Write down in your copy right now. Written? Okay. What about others? Let me see.
Written, ma'am.
Okay. What about others? Aishwarya, Mosmi, Sudipta, Supriya, Arbaz. Give me a thumbs up if you've written. Or you can, on the chat window, please write a yes. So I know that you have done some work. Write yes on your chat window if you've written that situation in your copy. Aishwarya, I know you're not at home, but if you have been able to at least think about it, please put a yes. You can do a lot of thinking also, okay? If you're not having copy pen, if you're spending your time here, you can think. What about Sudipta? Sudipta, Pooja, Arbaz. If you're there, put a yes if you have written the situation. And I want you to really practice this situation, okay? Not just write it. The intent of doing this 1.5 hours, wasting with me on a Saturday is only worth it if you practice these things, right? If you don't practice these things, you will not remember it. Trust me, if you don't apply the learning from any training session in the next 1 week, you are bound to forget it. Okay, and these behaviors are truly going to make you a star in an organization. Trust me on this. You can take from a person like me who has worked with different organizations, right? I have worked on projects like even in my team, people will not get those opportunities and they will say, Nidhi, how can you get all the opportunities? And I didn't even used to flatter my boss. I in fact used to challenge my bosses, right? But it was because purely because they could see my commitment to help my team members. They could see my commitment to grow. They could see my commitment that the organization should get some benefit out of my work, right? So show these works because you want to create an impact, not because I want to be successful. I want to be a successful will be a result of what you're trying to create for others. And that is what leaders do. Leaders, any leader that has started any movement in the life or in any corporate, they do something out of passion for others and they automatically get successful. So don't do it for success. Do it because it will create impact in your life or somebody else's life. Okay? Let's move on to next topic and then we will do you guys want to take a 5 minutes break? Do you want to take a 5 minutes break? But in that sense, session will be extended for 5 minutes at least. Are you okay with that? Anyone wants a break? You can show your hands. That's completely fine if you want to take a 5 minutes break. Nobody? No. Are you guys scared of me or something? You don't need to scared of me. Okay. So if you are scared, then you will not be able to learn. Okay. So, okay. In the interest of time, let me continue. If you want to take a break anytime, just let me know. Okay. So, yes. So I think I've covered a lot of these points. Actively listen to people, support and back up others. Speak assertively. We had a session on assertive communication in the previous session where I don't know, some of you were not there. Challenge the wrong behaviors, but in a respectful tone. When you challenge others, you are learning and the other people are also learning, right? So don't be scared to challenge if you think somebody's showing the wrong behavior or if you can improve on an idea. Offer help, but also know when to say no to manage your time, right? And this time management tool, always remember this, that if I'm saying yes to some person to help, what am I saying no to? What is that thing that which will be affected because of this? Sometimes, yes, it is good to help, but if you're helping too much and you're not having time for yourself, you are going to be stressed out. You're going to be burnt and you're going to affect your work. So have a balance. Okay. Recognize good work, but don't dilute the value by recognizing everyone. What it means is appreciate others when they're doing good work, but don't appreciate just for making people happy. because then the people who are genuinely doing good work, their value is not recognized. Okay, follow the organizational values. Think every day, who am I to others, and lead by example. Very important. Who am I to others? When you wake up in the morning, remember, who am I to myself? What do I think about myself? Who am I to others? What kind of inspiration I'm giving to others? And it's not that you need to be a leader or you need to be CEO of some company to inspire others. In your small behaviors, in your small acts, you are every day inspiring others. Even if you're smiling, you never know, you are going to a college and there is a person who's very unhappy. He or she is a loner and you smile to that person, and just your smile made that person happy and comfortable from inside. So you can inspire others by smiling also. But think of yourself that, what are the ways in which you can inspire yourself and others, and live with that thought. That should be the first thought in the morning. If you start with that thought in the morning, you are going to be very productive and automatically be aligned to happiness and success. How can I inspire myself and others today? Okay, and stick with that agenda. What are the small ways? Don't try to do all the things in the same place, but start with small things. Okay, like it may be like reading a book, that okay, I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to do a training session for my friends, whatever helps you. Okay, create a positive image by showing consistency, composure, and clarity. These three things are very important: consistency, composure, and clarity. Write these three C's. Even if you are not very good in English, people say, so many students come to me and say, ma'am, we are not very good in English, that's why we feel scared to speak. It's not about English, it's about your content. It's about the context. In what context you're speaking, what is your content, how clear is your content. And clarity is not just coming through English, clarity is coming through what are you trying to present, right? So always, and for clarity, it is very important when you speak, take pauses. When you take pause, what is happening is you're allowing your mind to think better. Because generally the way the body is designed is, our rate of speech is faster than rate of brain processing it. So what is happening is words are coming out, like coming out. It's like, you're not even processing it and you're coming out, and then you will not make sense because your mouth is not synced with your brain. So what we will have to do is, we will have to sync our mouth and brain. Now brain says that I am slow yaar, मैं ज़्यादा नहीं जल्दी जा सकता. So mouth will also have to become slower. And for that, take pauses. When you take pauses, especially if you're not confident about public speaking or making presentations, if you take pauses, trust me, you will be able to comprehend your thoughts better and you will be feeling more confident. So practice having pauses, practice reflecting, maintain your level to which you can engage, try to see the strengths in yourself and others also, try to see the needs, trust people. Sometimes, yes, it is good to be vulnerable, share your own stories, but also be mindful that you're not trusting everyone very early. And I'm sure all of you in college would have had a friend who would have hurt you, who would have, you trusted very much, but who kind of betrayed you, right? And we all start becoming bitter. You don't have to be bitter. Just learn from it and think of it that how can I be more mindful in choosing my friends later? Okay. The last thing is, be a storyteller. Storytelling is a very important skill which will help you in organization or anywhere. All of the YouTube influencers that you see or the TikTok influencers, they're all sharing a story, right? They're showing a story through their blogs. They're showing a story through some funny video. They're showing a story through some kind of pictures, right? Even Instagram, there are stories. Why are they calling it stories? Because stories have a very powerful connect with the mind of the people. When I share a story, when I share my personal experience, other people can connect to it. Otherwise, it's just data, just words, just English or Hindi, whatever languages. So try to create your own story, practice storytelling with your friends. Take a topic, talk about a story, just any story from your past, from your present, or any story that you know, and share it, but keep it short. If you make it too long, people get bored. unless you are creating a your journal somewhere, so you're talking about your travel, अरे मैं वहाँ गया, फिर पता है वहाँ पे उससे मिला, फिर हम ऐसे बैठे, फिर हमने ये खाया, फिर वो you know some people may be interested in that story, but most of them don't have time. अरे कितना बोर कर रहा है, and they can't even say on your face कितना बोर कर रहा है तू, right? So the storytelling is a very important art. I would say if you can do a course on storytelling. Udemy, Coursera, these are some good websites on which the courses are very cheap, like 300, 400 rupees. You can do a course on storytelling. This will always help you in future. 2, 3 courses which I would must say is like storytelling, influencing others, negotiation skills. These 2, 3 skills are always going to help you. Negotiation skills are also important when you're going to negotiate your salary with your interviewer, with your HR person. Maybe not right now, immediately coming after the college, but in future, yes. So these are very important skills that you need to learn. Quickly moving to the some do's and don'ts of the organization. That's something which might sound simple, but yes, do's are punctuality, always saying please and thank you to connect with people. Acknowledge, confirm, reflect, and respond. A very important communication mantra. Acknowledge. How many times it has happened when you're saying something and somebody just respond, nahi ye to tu to galat hai. They're not even acknowledging what you have just said. They're just making their own point. So what is empathy? When we said empathy is understanding others. How do I show it in communication every day that I understand you? I listen to you and I try to understand you, even if I don't agree with your logic. So acknowledgement is the first phase. And often in discussions, you can say that, okay, you know what? I heard that you said this. Is that my correct understanding? That is acknowledging. Okay, acknowledging and of course confirming that you're confirming with them, right? Second is reflecting, thinking about what the other person said. Don't immediately reply to that person because you may come out with a wrong response, especially when you're in an emotional state. Either you're too happy, too sad, or too angry. You will always end up saying something which will be regretful later. So reflect on what the person said and then respond, not react. Respond. Okay, so that's a very important mantra. You can write it down. Acknowledge, confirm, reflect, and respond whenever you want to communicate. Check if the person has time for your ad hoc request. In college, you can go out to any person's room and say, "Yaar, iska homework dikha de, this homework." In office, you have to be mindful that the other person is not occupied, and if he's occupied and if you're taking help from that person, just check with him if he's available or not. Right? Ask questions. Asking questions is going to take you very long because it's going to help you bring clarity. Right? Respect people's privacy. Follow safety norms. Address with sir or name. I would say that mostly sir word is sir or madam word is used in the manufacturing sectors or traditional sectors like pharmaceuticals. If you're working there, they still expect you to call them sir or madam. But if you're working for most of the multinational companies, they want you to call names. Nobody wants to listen sir and ma'am because they want you to think of them as equal. Okay. Walk straight. Handshake is firmly but not tightly. This is something which you need to be mindful. Don'ts are don't be on call too much. Please, in office, everybody notices that if you're on call too much, right? Don't be on texting that your screen is open and your work is open and you are smiling and messaging someone. Sometimes it's okay. We know that we are human beings, but that's a corporate etiquette, right? Don't walk into someone's office unannounced. Always take permission, or maybe just in the office there are chat windows, so you can put on chat that can I come and meet you, or block their calendar in advance, right? Uh, don't speak loudly, and this is a problem with all the graduates. Just freshly past graduate, you can make out in my 9 floors of office also I could make out where are the graduates, because ha 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 he and so loud voices will be there heard, and it's good to hear them that okay, these are the enthusiastic college students, but it's very unprofessional. Okay, so keep your voices softer there. Don't appear to be drunk or shabby. Even if you are drunk, I would not support that, but yeah, please at least don't appear to be drunk or shabby, because this is very important. Don't give access to any visitor. Normally the companies have their safety norms, so always carry your iCard and don't let anyone just like open and come into your office just like that. Don't leave your computer files on the desk just like that again, because somebody can read that and some of the confidential information may go out. And very simple but very important, don't have a bad breath. Trust me, it is so annoying when you're working with your colleague and he comes to your face and says something. Are Nidhi, can you tell me this? And like, yeah, hold on. Okay, just wait there. Okay, so these are very simple things. Corporate is not like a very rocket science, but if you be mindful of these things, you will be prepared to deal with it better. Okay. Any questions? Any thoughts till now? Let me move on to the next slide. So this is just a simple activity. How would you handle conversation if your team member shows these emotions? Apathy is when somebody is not responding to you at all, right? Somebody is not showing any interest. So apathy is when somebody is behaving like that. Leave them for some time. Try to communicate them afterwards, okay? And try to understand that what are the reasons. Is something bothering you rather than having a fight? Somebody's crying, of course, offer your shoulders. Know the reason. If they can reach out to the managers, encourage them to reach out to the managers or HR. Give them tissues, water. And if somebody is showing anger, just be silent. At least be silent for that time. Or if you're answering, you don't start mirroring anger there. Okay. um, these are some situations which I would have discussed, be a little short of time, but we will try to see that. This is important. Something which I want to cover is sources of networking. Again, you can take a screenshot of this. This is important because I want you to start networking from right now. Networking is going to really help you in future. So these are the various opportunities: volunteering, team meetings, functions, LinkedIn, WhatsApp groups, participating in any competitions. There are leader speaking sessions that happens. There are working committees that are formed within organizations. Be a part of as many of these interest groups. This will really help you to create connections which can actually support you. Okay, so networking is very important. Even if you're an introvert, you know what I used to do is I realized that okay, I'm an introvert, I cannot just go openly and talk to everyone. But if I connect on individuals one by one, it always made my work easier. So especially in the meetings, before the meetings, I would connect with some of the senior stakeholders, take their inputs individually. So when I'm going in a meeting, I have some support already. Okay. Last, coming to the email etiquettes, this is the most important part in organization, because a lot of even the senior employees don't know how to write an email. So just a simple structure: you put recipients, subject line, you greeting, mail body, salutation, which is your end name, and your signature. Okay. So, so suppose if this is a subject line, suggest a subject line if you have to write with this purpose. So there could be different kind of mails, right? When you are writing a mail which is to pass some information to the organization, or if you're writing a mail to your team member for asking for some support or some data, you can write a mail to someone for asking for ideas or suggestions. You can write a mail for escalating or highlighting a risk. Or it could be a simple thank you mail. Somebody who helped you or helped your team, you're just writing them a thank you mail. Another mail could be where you're sharing a report or a data, or somebody who's announcing an event. So most of your organizational mails, corporate mails, will fall in these categories, right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a picture of this and I want you to think after the session or tomorrow maybe, how are you going to write emails for these purpose? Okay, there are different kind of purpose. Is the activity clear? There are different kind of purpose for which you write the email: for sharing information, for asking information, asking help, announcing event. Think of it, try to draft an email and get it reviewed with someone. Okay, someone, two or three friends, that have I written a good mail? Can I improve it? So this will always help you, because in corporate, mails are very important. Many of the times you're not even connecting with people on phone because somebody is sitting in a different time zone. Somebody is sitting in US. When we have afternoon in India, they have night in US. When they have afternoon in US, we have night. So many of the times you can't even communicate to your peers, your colleagues on the phone. So then emails are very important. And if emails are not clear, if they're not structured well, or if they're too long, too short, then your communication gap comes, and it affects your work. So just take a picture of this, all of you, mail types and subject lines, and create mails for each of these areas, because these are the most common type of emails which you will be creating. You can take any assumptions, think of any project, which is, even if it is a college project, and think of it as like, how do I write a mail for this? Okay, everybody's taken a picture. Show me a thumbs up. Picture taken. Okay, Uh, so Deepta is saying no, ma'am. Is it now? No, it was earlier. Okay. Uh, Identify right greetings. There are a lot of right greetings. Hi, hello, all these. But in a mail, generally, when you're working in office, generally most of the times, hi is the safest one. You can say hi, and name of the person, or hi team also you can write if you're writing to a particular team. But you need to have a comfort with that team to write this. Or you can write dear also. But dear is usually depends on company culture. Some companies are very open about it. They use dear, and some companies are little traditional and professional, so they don't use dear. But whenever you enter the company, you can see the mails of other people, and depending on that, you can write hi or dear. Okay, so whatever that company is using. So this is opening greeting. This is the structure. Like we said, first to the email address wherever we're writing, CC and BCC. Can anyone tell me the difference between to CC and BCC? What is the difference? Have you seen to and CC and BCC on the mails? Even in Google Mail, you will find that Gmail. What is the difference between to
Yes,
CC and BCC? No, nobody knows the difference.
no.
Okay, so I'll tell you what is the difference, and it is very important from an organization perspective. Two, in the to section, we write that email of the person has exists. Okay, to we write to that person for me who the mail is actually intended. So suppose if I want Aishwarya to do something for me, right? So I will mark the mail to Aishwarya, right? Now imagine Mosmi is her manager. Mosmi does not have to do that work, but she needs to be informed that Aishwarya has to do this work. So Mosmi will be in CC. So in CC we put names of those people, emails of those people who just have to be FYI for your information. Just be looped in just to give them information, but they don't have to take any action on that email. They're just there to read, okay, this is happening. They're not directly involved. And BCC is used. BCC is generally when you want to mail people in a hidden mode so that nobody can see each other's mail. BCC is normally used when you're sending mail to a lot of people at the same time, like 20, 50 people. Normally HR people use this because they have to send a mail to entire organization, and they don't want everyone to have access of the entire email list. So what they do is they just put it everyone in BCC. Also, why they didn't want everyone to see the entire email list is because they know if anyone gets an entire email list, they can send a nasty email to everyone. So they don't want that to happen, right? So they use BCC. So in our corporate life, we will not be using BCC too much. We'll be using to and CC the most. BCC is only if you are in that communications team and you are writing a mail to everyone in the organization, then BCC you write. So in the BCC, anyone who gets your mail will not be able to see the email IDs of other people who have been marked. Is it clear? To CCC and BCC. Then you write the subject, whatever the purpose of writing the mail. We saw different kind of subjects here in this slide, right? So we'll have to create a subject accordingly. Address can be hi, hello, dear, and the name of the person. Greeting, it's good to start with greeting, hope you're well. But if you're communicating daily with your team members, every time you don't have to write hope you're well. Generally, you write this for a person whom you're communicating after 2 months, maybe somebody who is from a different team, somebody who's from a different country. So you write that hope you're well. Then first paragraph is always about introducing yourself and creating the purpose. What is this mail for? Why should I even go through your entire mail and waste my time when there are only 100 mails pending in my inbox, right? That's why the subject line in the first sentence becomes very important. The subject line should clearly say, what is my mail regarding? So mail subject could be data required. I know that there is some data required, so I'm going to open that. Mail subject could be that sharing a report for March 2022. So then I know that, okay, there is this person sending that report I needed, I will open the mail. Or mail data could be highlighting risk. So I immediately look into, oh, what is the risk this person is talking about? Subject is very important. Always write an action in the subject. What is required from the other person? If you just write, suppose if you mail to a recruiter and you write job required, or not even job required, you just write, suppose MBA, marketing position. What do I do with that mail? I don't know. Marketing position means what? Do you want to give me a marketing position? Do you want to seek a role in marketing position? So put a specific action there. okay, in the subject. And then in the purpose of the mail body, first write, I'm from this team and I am writing this mail because I need help in this thing. Whatever is the purpose of the mail, don't detail it out. Then in second paragraph, give the details that what we did this project and this is where we are stuck and this is kind of help we need, or we need this kind of data, or could you please give me answers to these questions which I have in my mind. That's the main body. And in the end, give them, look forward to hear from you, or look forward to get responses by at least this date. If you are giving a work which has an end line timeline, give that specific timeline in the last line. The first thing and the last thing are very important, because then only the person is going to go through the medium content, because they see, okay, सब अपने मतलब के लिए देखते हैं. So like, oh, 15 को deliver करना है, so I have to look into this mail. So every time when you are in corporate, people are prioritizing their mails. Similarly, in college also, if you're mailing someone, if you follow the structure will give you clarity. Okay. And in the end, you put salutation, thanks and regards, your name, your signature, whatever it is, right? So first paragraph, introduction and purpose of the mail. Second paragraph, give the details or the context, the background, why you're writing that mail and what you want to achieve from it. And third paragraph is about what is the action on that person and when are they supposed to respond. Okay. So these are some of the correct opening and closing sentence. I hope you're doing good. Please do the needful. Please revert us up some of these sentences that you can use. And the last one is don'ts of business email. Okay. I like this man's picture very much because he's very serious about what he's saying. Okay. No excessive abbreviations. What are abbreviations? Acronyms, basically, right? ASAP. Okay, some of these acronyms will be used in business formals very much, but try to not use it as much as possible because not everyone understands them, right? So don't use abbreviations. Please don't use emoticons. Unless you're interacting with your team member and you're discussing a team party, don't put smiley and wink and all those things. Do not put that, right? And especially when there are other people also mounted in that mail, because it makes you look very unprofessional. So no emojis there, okay? Third, not actioning calendar invites. A lot of you will get calendar invites, like you would have got an invite for this session also, and people don't even respond to it. No, yes, no, no, that's a very bad behavior. At least show, even if you don't know, respond as tentative. That, okay, I'm available as a tentative mode, means I don't know if I will be available or not. I'm not able to confirm it, right? So please respond on action invites. Slang and WhatsApp language. Please, no WhatsApp language on your professional emails. Okay, so no shortcuts, no short words, write completely. Excessive exclamatory and question mark, again something which is very dangerous. If you put exclamatory mark, too many exclamatory marks, oh my god, this guy has got crazy. Or if you put too many question marks, it sounds like you're being rude. Okay, you're being rude and you're not understanding anything. Okay, color choice, generally in all the emails, try to follow only black and blue. You can highlight some things using blue font, you can put something on bold, but don't put too much content on bold. Don't put too much content on blue. Sometimes you can underline also, right? But don't make too many things in the same mail that you're putting a lot of blues also, a lot of bolds also, a lot of lines also. It's not a appealing way of communicating. The idea of using either of these, when you're highlighting something, bolding something, or underlining, to highlight a particular thing which is the most important. Now if you highlight everything, putting into bold or capital or something, nothing becomes highlighted, right? Because now everything is colored in some or other way. So it's important you don't do that. And don't write capital letters. Capital letters is strictly avoided. Capital letters means you're angry. In many cultures, capital letter, if you write in capital letters, that means that you're sounding very rude to them. Okay, so please don't please avoid capital letters. Where capital means like all uppercase, all are in capital. Unclear subject line, avoid that. Like I said, subject line has to specifically have an action. What do you want the other person to do? Don't use the reply all button. Reply all is simple thing that somebody sent your mail and you did a reply all. Even when you were responded, supposed to respond to that person. And incorrect font and alignment. Okay, generally keep the font like between 9 to 10 in your official mails, and alignment has to be proper, not that one line going here, one line going here. Okay, So these are simple do's and don'ts of basically the email. And with that, we come to the favorite part of the session, which is the end of the session. Okay, so this is the favorite part of the session. So I want you to be on video again, all of you, whoever can be on video. And this is the time, let me go one by one. If you have any questions, any thoughts, share with me. Any questions, any doubts that you have. Let's start with Harshpreet, because Harshpreet has been the most active person being on video. He's the only guy I saw on the video all the time. So thank you very much. And what are your thoughts? What are your key takeaways today, Harshpreet?
And I will take this session. And the most I like about the session is that I get that confidence on how to prepare myself, how to take feedback, and not to, like you said as an example, that sorry, I'm I just
It's okay.
I'm just con.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I understand. So I think, as long as if you're able to apply these things and practice these things, again, practicing is going to make you confident, right? So practicing is going to help us. And like I shared my example that I was seen as a person who could not read. The teacher made fun of me in front of everyone. But it's how you take feedback is going to help you grow, right? So Harshpreet, do you have any questions, any doubts? No? Okay.
Oh man.
Okay, great. Let me hear from Sudeepta. Sudeepta, are you there, Sudeepta? Sudeepta, okay. Let me just see if anyone else has a doubt or anyone wants to share something. Sudeepta does not have a doubt. Okay, Sudeepta, what are your key takeaways? If you can just quickly share in 1-2 lines. You can unmute yourself if you want. Okay, I don't think Sudeepta has any doubts. Okay, so Vinay, are you there?
Yeah, yes, Nidhi.
Vinay, I think if students have any doubt, I mean, I'll share my email ID with all of you. You can again note down my email ID. That's contact@skillmedley.com. Let me just put it in the chat window. You can reach out to me here. If you need any support, anything, please feel free to reach out. And this is my email ID. You can take it for reference. Sudita says 3 days were very awesome. It's very helpful for me to improve myself more. Thank you, Sudita, for these thoughts. And you feel free to reach out to me for any questions, anything that you have. And also, I want to appreciate JMA because JMA has been doing a lot of such wonderful sessions for students with different trainers. They are always invested in the students' development, right? So I would say that if you like these sessions, talk to your college professors. They can associate with JMA for more such sessions. JMA has been doing regular sessions like this, and I've been part of their panel since last year. So I know they have picked up some really important topics for students, and they are very concerned. So please, you can talk to college professors and have more sessions with JMA. You can, if you have any kind of specific needs that you can think of that, okay, I need training on this, I need training on that, you can reach to GMA. Vinay, if you want, you can also share your email ID here for GMA if they can reach out to your email ID. And
Surely.
otherwise, you have your college professor also, like the college team, the placement team may also know that. So thank you once again, everyone, for spending your Saturday with me. I hope you could find out some value from it, and wish you all the best. Thank you, Vinay, for sharing this email ID, and thank you, Vinay, once again for organizing this session. I know it takes a lot of efforts for your team, for you. So thank you very much for that, and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.
Thanks to you,
Yeah.
Nidhi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks to participants.
Thank you.